Shavua Tov, everyone. Happy Hanukkah and Chodesh Tov. And welcome to week number 83 in our Saturday Night Tillus Tells story group. I adapted this story from the L'chaim Weekly website, and I call it the newest Maccabee. The Hasidim stood still, staring with awe and love at their Rebbe, Rabbi Rebbe of Slonim, who was positioned in front of his menorah, contemplating, meditating, for some reason not yet kindling the candles. Rebbe of Slonim Avraham Weinberg of Slonim was an important leader of the Hasidic movement in Lithuania until his passing in 1883, Lithuania being the stronghold of opposition to Hasidut. And he was also an important person in the collecting of funds to support the Hasidic community in the Holy Land. As I said, minutes passed, they seemed like hours. Finally, the Rebbe said the blessings, infusing every word with Kabbalistic intentions, and the Hasidim, each to his own level, drew inspiration from the holiness of this moment. The Rebbe lit the candles. A few minutes went by. Everyone was looking at the candles. A few minutes went by. Suddenly, they heard a scream from the front door. "Help me! Save me!" Everybody turned to look, and there was a woman standing there, clearly not of the Hasidic Brotherhood, not a wife of any of the Hasidim, and indeed she didn't appear to be very observant at all. The backstory is that she was the wife of a wealthy and important businessman in Slonim, somebody who had never once in his life set foot in the Slonim synagogue, belonging to among the group of those that made fun of the Hasidim and their customs. They had been married quite a number of years without children, and finally a son was born to them when they were already quite elderly. And there wasn't anything they couldn't do for him. Their whole life centered around him, although they really did make every effort not to spoil him. And now the son had become very ill. One doctor after another was summoned, and nobody seemed to be able to help him. None of them were able to help him. All the doctors kept saying, "There's nothing we can do." The father paced the room in agony and tears, not knowing what to do. But all of a sudden, his wife jumped up. The mother jumped up out of her place and ran out of the house. She didn't even know where she was running to, or where she was going, or why, or to whom. But her feet seemed to have a mind of her own, and they took her to the Slonim synagogue. And so there she was in the front door, screaming, "Save me! Help me!" The Rebbe called over one of his Hasidim and said, "Go to this woman and tell her she should go home, and tell her husband that that he should have in mind to add the name to whatever her son's name is. He should add the name Matisyahu, and in the morning." He should go to a synagogue of his choosing, and in front of a minion that will affirm it, say a blessing over for the sick boy, adding his Matisyahu to his name, and the 10 or more should say Amen. And in the merit of the founder of the Hashmonaim, the Maccabees, and their dedication and Mesiras Nefesh, their willingness to give up their life for the sake of Judaism, their merits will protect and help the boy, and also tell her husband that he should take 18 ruples and give them as a donation for tzedakah to help the settlement, the Jewish settlement in the Holy Land. So the chassan told her. The woman left, and approximately 24 hours later, around the time of lighting the next light, the next night. So there was the father of the boy smiling with 18 ruples in his hand. with 18 rubles in his hand to give for tzedakah, that his son, whatever his name was, Matisyahu, had fully recovered.